Hi everyone, in this video I'd like to talk about power reducing formulas, and I'd like to suppose that we're given the expression 2 times sine squared alpha times cosine squared alpha. And the reason why we want to reduce the powers is that if you're going on to calculus and you want to do an integral, which right now you might not know what integrals are, but in calculus you would certainly encounter them. If you wanted to integrate this expression, it's going to be very nasty to try and do with those second degree exponents in there. So what you would want to do is you would want to reduce the power so you have at least one or both of them as a power of 1 instead of a power of 2. So what I recommend doing is having a long list of formulas that you can use and look up later on. I've written 2 of these down, and I'm going to go through and put them in. So I had a 2 sitting out in front. That will stay the same. Next, instead of the sine squared, I'm going to replace that with 1/2, big parentheses, 1 minus cosine of 2 alpha times whatever cosine squared is, which is 1/2 times 1 plus cosine of 2 alpha. And again, don't go and memorize these, at least right away. If you use them over and over, they will just become part of your working memory. For now, all of these formulas here, just keep them on a formula page that you can easily either bookmark on your computer or maybe print out and put in your notebook so you can just look them up when you need them. So from here, it's all just going to be algebra now that we've made the replacement. So we just need to stay very organized with our work. So out in front, I'm going to keep that 2 lined up. Notice I'm working down the page, so I can literally track that 2 and make sure I didn't lose it anywhere on the page. And I think that's really helpful to work down the page instead of like left and right and all over the place. All right. And then I'm going to keep my big brackets here just so that I know what's going on inside. I've got a 1/2 times an expression times a 1/2. Let's combine those and call that 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. Now, let's work on the multiplication of these 2 binomials. We've got some expressions in the parentheses. This is like our standard over old a plus b times the a minus b. That gives us a squared minus b squared. That's the same type of thing we have here. It's going to turn out to be the difference of 2 perfect squares. So I've got a 1 minus cosine squared 2 alpha. So just a note on that. If I had a cosine 2 alpha times a cosine of 2 alpha, it's like cosine of a banana, cosine of a theta. I don't care. Cosine of whatever. I don't care what's in there. It doesn't matter what the angle is. It's still a cosine squared of the banana or cosine squared of theta, or in this case, 2 alpha. So don't get tangled up with the 2 alpha. It's nothing too tricky there. All right, so we want to keep going here. Now, we've made some progress because instead of 2 factors with exponents of 2, like the sine squared and cosine squared, now I've just weaseled it down to just a cosine squared, and that's good, but it's not good enough. I really do want to get rid of that 2 as an exponent, so let's try to reduce that power. So I'm just going to use my formula again and tidy up as I go. All right. So I've got a 2 times 1/4. That's going to be a 1/2 sitting out in front. And let's go in here. I'll just put some pink brackets on it so see what I'm doing. The 1 is coming right down there. Minus whatever cosine squared is. So I'm going to put some big parentheses. Cosine squared, I know what that is. It's going to be 1/2 times 1 plus cosine of 2 theta. So in other words, whatever your input argument was, over here in the parentheses is going to be 2 times that. So if I had a 2 alpha to start with, now I need 2 times 2 alpha. There is a lot of parentheses, but again, we're going to stay very, very organized here so we don't lose any pieces of the puzzle. Okay. Again, it's really helpful to work down the page and keep everything lined up. Okay, so let's keep going. Out in front, I've got a 1/2. In the big pink brackets, I've got a 1. And now let's clean up this orange mess. So I'll keep my parentheses around the orange mess, but in here I've got 1/2. And then distributing again, I've got a 1/2 times cosine 4 alpha. Okay, let's keep going. So out in front, I have a 1/2. In the pink brackets, I have 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. Distributing this negative again, I've got minus 1/2 cosine 4 alpha. Well, this is looking better. Okay, last step here is to distribute the 1/2 that was sitting out in front. Here we go. Final answer, I've got a 1/4 minus a 1/4 cosine 4 alpha. And that's going to be my final answer. I know I went to the right because I'm off my computer screen. But the real 2 big tips I have for this problem are, 1, have your formula page there. Don't get flustered trying to memorize things. Just look up, it's like shopping for formulas. Just have that as a lookup page. And the tip number 2 for this is to work down the page, not right to left. Because if you work down the page, you can keep everything lined up and you won't lose any pieces.